you know, speaking of some of my favorite TV series currently, um, uh, some of my favorite TV series currently, um, that would include um, BMF, the BMF series, man. Definitely a great series. I watched both seasons, the first and the second one. The second one just ended about month and a half month ago. Great series, man. 50's been on a roll with these television series, and he's done a pretty good job with the BMF one. I think that the first series kind of was just like a intro of things, and I think the second season was better for me. I thought it was better. More just kind of, I think the story and the characters, and that was in the second one, and how things was done was pretty cool. I think young Meech, who played the big Meech, in the series, did a good job um with Da Vinci. They both did a real good job in terms of playing their roles. um so yeah. BMF, man, definitely some that series I definitely recommend, man. Teach you a lot about the BMF and how they came up um from the city of Detroit, and how they hustled and everything. So yeah. The Power series, um obviously the first one with Ghost and Tommy, that was good. But recently they had they have the sequel with Tariq, Michael Rainey, his own, where he's the main, you know, character, and with Mary J and Method Man, and all those guys. That's been a really good series. Been real good. Very, very, gives a good depiction of just kind of, how, the hustle is with the modern day, and the modern day technology, with the modern day technology, you know. Very, very, very good. Just the story, and how, certain characters are playing in the show is real cool. Um, the wittiness of Tariq, and his partner, the Caucasian man, his boy, his they kind of playing kind of like the role of how Ghost and Tommy was in the first series, and seeing how they navigate, through they doing their work, and the different, you know female characters that's involved, and the dramas, and the love making, and it's all cool, you know what I'm saying, to me. And Yeah, it's been a definitely entertaining, um definitely an entertaining TV show. So yeah, that's another one. Then and oh yeah, then you got the other one with Tommy, the other Power series with Tommy, where he's the pretty much the main character in Chicago. Um that one came out last year, but um and that was really good. Um the story and everything, and just Tommy adapting to a whole new city. Obviously, he had his history in New York, and now adapting into Chicago and creating his a whole new network and learning how things are done in Chicago, in terms of the hustle and everything, and getting new connects and everything. Is pretty dope. So, um, yeah, that joint, the whole Power series, 50 and all of the writers and producers and all of them, they're doing a fantastic job in terms of making these um dope series, as well as the other series that 50 got with Raising Canaan, which was depicts pretty much how you know the hustle was in the 90s, and obviously how Canaan came up to promise, just how he came up and he came, got to be who he ended up becoming in the in the hustling and stuff. You see kind of the upbringing, how the upbringing ultimately influence who he is and who he became, with his mother and his uncles and stuff, who was in the in the dope game, hustling, and he getting his feet wet in the hustle game. You see how he came up and with jukebox and all of that. It's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It does definitely gives a good segue into how you know things came to be. Obviously, in the original Power series, where Kanan and Jukebox were older, but this one obviously covers them when they were younger. So, man, it's definitely dope, man. Definitely recommend Raising Kanan. But Tina Miller is doing a phenomenal job in terms of her role and the way she's just, as a woman architecting the hustle and stuff. Um, and she just she a real, queen pin, so to speak. But yeah, it's dope series, man. I'm looking forward to the next series. I mean the next season that should be coming out probably, I think, over the summer some. And then Godfather of Harlem is super dope. Um with Forrest Whitaker as Bumpy Johnson. And you got Malcolm X in there. Um his character, they switched characters between this season that just the recent season just came out, and then they obviously had prior seasons, and they switched the character for Malcolm X. But yeah, Malcolm X in there, and you just kind of see the duality of Bumpy Johnson, and how he was honorable, respected, quote unquote, guy in Harlem for doing really good things, being charitable and things of that nature. And then, he kind of had the quote unquote other side of himself where he was, in the drug world and, you know, dealing with, the mafia and commit homicides and all, he had that um side to him or whatever. Um but you just kind of overall you see the duality of the natures of, Bumpy Johnson, and how both sides kind of pretty much collide amongst each other. He has a lot of good things happen and a lot of bad things happen. He's a wealthy guy, but a lot of people around him are dying or, you know, stuff like that. So it's definitely a good show. Um, The Shy, um, definitely another one series I really like. Um, uh, I watched every season. Um, it's covers the, you know, just the inner city of Chicago and the culture and, you know, how things are, and it's pretty dope. I like it. The, you know, the actors in it, Jacob Lattimore, Commons in there, Vic Mensa did, you know, was in there. A lot of Chicago artists and people, and yeah, you know, it just gives a pretty good depiction of Chicago, and not none. And also, you know, it's relatable for any inner city of just kind of how things work. You know, just on all scales, politically and in the neighborhoods and school, um, nightlife, you know, gang life, all that. The Shy covers that, and Lena Waithe, she's doing a great job doing, with the show. So yeah, that's one of the uh series I definitely tune into and look forward to. Then lastly, P Valley. Um this is quite, you know, I just find it kind of a little just interesting, you know what I'm saying? Seeing just the inner life of kind of how the stripper life is, you know, and how just the reality of, you know, how they life is to some degree, and you know, not just their life in the stripper, you know, in the strip club, but just outside of that, and how they, you know, navigate, you know, outside, and you know, stuff like that. Pretty good, you know. I thought it was interesting, very different from any other television series beforehand. So that's a one of one, so to speak, in my opinion. And it's interesting, it's entertaining, it's dramatic, and all that.